Topping our headlines at this hour, breaking news in Brooklyn. Police say the McDonald's worker who was shot during an argument over cold fries has died. The shooting is now being investigated as a homicide. Yesterday, prosecutors indicated that charges against the shooter, the accused shooter, Michael Morgan, would be upgraded if that worker died. Police say Morgan shot 23-year-old Matthew Webb outside the McDonald's in Bed-Stuy on Monday. They say Morgan also confessed to murdering another man in 2020 in Brooklyn.
Hey guys, it's Star. Welcome back to my lovely channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a topic, that I put so much thought into and so much time just thinking on how I'm going to deliver this message to the masses, because this is something that could potentially save a life. So right before we get into today's lovely video, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Make sure you guys like this video and drop a comment down below after you finish watching this video and tell me what you think. What do you think about the situation? And how would you have handled it? I'm going to be speaking on my retail workers and why it's not worth risking your life. You can go into a job and do everything that you need to do, but when it comes to being a people's person, how to deal with customers, you need to know how to come correct, because people are losing their lives out here. I don't know if you guys know, but like a month or two ago, there was a situation where a retail worker, well, it's not retail, working with food, I believe it was like a fast food restaurant. There were two young ladies there. They were best friends, and they made the guy's sandwich wrong. Apparently they put too much mayonnaise, and the guy shot the young lady, and she died and shot her best friend, but her best friend lived. Now recently, a few days ago in Brooklyn, because I'm from New York, there was an incident where a woman went into McDonald's and she received fries that were cold. So she requested her fries to be nice and hot. And I can't blame her. I want my fries to be nice and hot too. And apparently, they didn't give her new fries. They just put hot fries over the cold fries. And, she got into a little dispute, and the workers were, laughing at her or, cracking jokes. From what I heard, this is not fact, allegedly, okay? And apparently, she was offended. She went and got her son. Her son was, let's just be real. Your mother called you, probably, his mother was a hardworking woman coming from a long day of work, and she want to, something to eat. She tired. And you see people clowning your mother, and your mother's not in the best health. She's sick. And, you see people your age making fun of your mother, playing with her food. Now, a lot of people don't notice, but there are people out here who have bad tempers. There are people out here who have been through things, and things like that is a trigger for them. So, I don't believe that this is something that should have caused another person's death. But, this man pulled out a gun and he shot the McDonald's worker in the neck, and unfortunately, the young man passed away. And it is so sad, and it's so unfortunate that you could go to work thinking you about to clock into your 9 to 5. And then you don't even make it through your shift. That's why you got to watch how you deal with people. So what I did was I wrote down some tips for those who are working with food, or for those who are working in retail. You guys got to be careful. It's not a game out here, and this goes for all of us. I used to work in retail. I know how people be going crazy with the mouth. I know how you could be so polite and people are snatching their receipts. People are still looking for you to do something wrong. I know how people could stare at you, while you're at the cash register and just try to start with you because they're miserable. I know how it is. And I'm just so grateful that I'm not in that retail industry anymore. God delivered me, because I just knew it wasn't my destiny. And I knew that, it was for a short period of time, but it wasn't forever. So I wrote down some tips that I believe that's going to help you guys, because the last thing I want to hear is somebody who was subscribed to my channel, my growing channel, lost their life over something that I could advise them about. So number one, I wrote it down. Do not argue with customers. And guys, just a few months ago, I was clocking into work. I worked at a check cashing place. Those check cashing places where you go to cash your check and it's a glass, and they sit in like at like an office desk with a glass between you and them. I was there. I was working with customers. There's some people who would have an attitude, start arguments, start banging on the glass, start picking on me for no reason because they're going through it. Let me tell you something. When you work in a job, you go in there for the money and you go in there to do whatever they ask you to do. I know sometimes people say the wrong things and it triggers you because sometimes people don't really know who they messing with. Sometimes they see a pretty face, but they don't know the temper and the anger that comes behind it. They don't know that, you could pop off too. You could get crazy too, but you need the job. You feel me? So don't argue with customers. It's not worth losing your job and it's not worth losing your life. Sometimes you got to let people have the last word. Sometimes you got to let people talk. Sometimes you just got to walk away and remove yourself. You don't want to wind up on the news. You don't want to lose your life cut short because somebody said something, to violate you and you popped off and you went crazy because you already hate your job. And that was just the icing on the cake. If nobody told you, let these incidents that just took place, let this be your warning. People will talk smack and you'll never see them again. But you can't get another life. Once you're gone forever. And I believe we all have beautiful futures that we want to live to see. We want to live out our hopes and dreams. Nobody want to be working at McDonald's or a fast food restaurant or in retail and then not make it home, or working at retail thinking you're going to go home, once 7 o'clock hit and you in the morgue. Who would have imagined that? It's sad. So guys, really just use wisdom. Sometimes you got to be the bigger person. Sometimes you got to say, you know what? I don't care what nobody say. I'm here for my money. I'm let them talk. They're already miserable. They're going through whatever they're going through. I'm gonna just leave it as is, and I'm gonna move on with my life. Sometimes you gotta move on and you gotta let things go, and don't let people easily anger you. And guys, one thing about Star, I'm working on it. My temper, I'm working on it. I'm working on it too. But it's not worth your life. I know sometimes we want to go back and forth with people, but when it comes to your life, keep your mouth closed, because sometimes a shut mouth could spare your life. Let's get into the next tip I wrote down, and this is just to help people out there. I know it's hard. I know it's not easy. I know what it's like to work a job that you hate. I know what it's like when your coworkers are jealous of you, when they're envious of you, when you walk in the room and you feel the tension. I know what it's like to not be liked by those you work around. I know what a toxic work environment is like. I've been through that multiple times, many times, especially when I was at the check cashing place, okay? Tip number 2, pay close attention to people's body language. Now, we are people who are energy beings, you feel good energy and you can detect bad energy. And God is so amazing because we speak a language, whether it's English or Spanish or French, but there's also something called body language. When you see a person coming to your job and they got their hands in their pocket and they looking left to right, or they're pacing back and forth, or they're acting weird or abnormal, or doing something that doesn't sit right and you feel it in your gut, and this person is waiting to come to your cash register, or this person is coming up to you to ask a question and they're hostile and they're already acting weird and they're jumping on you, they're snapping, they're being smart. Is it wise to go back and forth with this person? Or is it wise to be as nice and polite and patient with them? Because crazy people who have nothing to lose want to provoke you because they want to fight somebody. They want to hurt somebody. Some people leave their house looking to kill. It sounds crazy, but it's true. So pay attention to body language. Sometimes people will come into public places with guns and stuff, and it's concealed under a jacket or in a book bag or something. But when you watch for the body language, you can pick up, okay, something's not right. I have a feeling they have something on them. So what should I do? Should I alert my boss? Should I send a text out to the coworkers? What can I do to avoid this situation? Because I know this person is moving weird, like they're moving funny and something's not right. Let me tell you guys something. I came a long way. I used to work at a check cashing place, right? It was downtown and it was in the midst of the ghetto.
Ah, the ghetto. The ghetto. The ghetto.
In the midst of the ghetto, and it would be times I was in the check cashing place by myself, just a black girl with curly hair behind a glass to separate me from the customers, and a little slot where they could slide me their money, and I was the only one there. There was over $60,000 in the safe where I was at, and I had no security guard, and I had a whole line of people out the door, and I was doing people's bills, cashing people's checks, and this was last summer. And there would be people on the line who seen that it was only one worker behind there, which was me, tending to 30 customers alone. And they would be screaming at me on the line, hurry up, this don't make no sense. Why are you the only person back here? Hurry up. Come on, mommy, come on. You know, the people that was online that would think I was Spanish, be like, mommy, hurry up. Imagine how it feels to be the only one at work. You're not secured. There's no security guard. You have thousands of dollars behind the desk with you in a safe. And there's multiple people screaming at you, and you're in the midst of the ghetto, and they're angry, and most of them are on drugs. And the glass that I was behind was not bulletproof. You know what I did? It hurt me to my core to have to sit there for 8 hours alone, dealing with so many people yelling at me and shaming me. They think I'm working too slow when it's only one person there that can assist everyone. So you have to be patient. You know what I did? Even though it hurt on the inside, even though I felt alone and I was pressured, even though I knew I needed the job, even though these people don't know what I've been through, you know, on my previous job prior to that, and I'm coming here trying to service you the best way I could. At the end of the day, I didn't know who had a gun that could blast that glass and blow me up. I didn't know who could be waiting for me outside of work when I got off, because I was the only one there to lock up that place. I kept my mouth shut. I did what I had to do. I didn't retaliate. I ignored people. I always kept my mouth shut and professional, and I never argue back with people, because you don't know who the devil will use to take you out, to harm you, to hurt you over pointless situations. So when I say pay close attention to people's body language, this can help you get away before things break off. You know, when you pay attention to people's body language, you can alert other people and get help before somebody even pulls out some type of weapon. So I'm not saying to be paranoid, but study people, and study people carefully. Here is tip number 3, you guys, and this is what you need to know. You need to know that most people are going through things and will release that built up anger on you. And it's so sad, but people do this, and I've done it before, okay? You ever be just in a bad mood and you're angry about something, and then all of a sudden, you know, somebody does the smallest thing and you're ready to lash out? You have to realize that, you know, what the person did wasn't even that serious, but because you're so angry and because you're so annoyed, everything that was built up and concealed on the inside was released on someone who didn't even deserve it. And that's how it is at work with customers, you guys. If a customer is nasty with you, trying to argue with you, is not satisfied, you know, with their order, has questions, you know, is not patient with you, know that sometimes their frustration is not even at you, but about the circumstance. Their frustration is towards the situation, and you're just the person that they are releasing it upon. And is it right? No, but you have to understand these things and these principles so that you don't take nothing personal. I got to the point when I was in retail, because I used to work at H&M too, dealing with clothes. I got to the point where I was so fed up when people was nasty with me. I would still assist them, but I would be like, you know what? I know that, you know, things ain't too good at home, I could tell, and I'm just not even going to take you serious. I'm just going to, you know, do what I'm asked to do and just keep it pushing. I'm not going to take it personal, because this person doesn't know me from a hole in a wall. And that's what you have to do and know, because when you know these things, you're going to be able to control your anger, and you're going to be able to control your response. And another thing that I love, even in the Bible, it does say like a soft and gentle answer turns away wrath. So even God is saying, when you speak to people polite and kindly, they could be so angry, but because you're so sweet and polite and kind, You turn away their anger, you turn away their wrath. They'll start to change. So you just got to be very smart when dealing with people. It's not worth being on the news. It's not worth winding up in a casket, you guys. We are young, and so many people in our generation are losing their life over senseless acts of violence and things that could have been prevented. And most of the youth, the teenagers, kids in elementary school, young adults, even people my age, they don't know how to deal with people. We're just acting based off emotions, what we're going through, how we feel we should be treated, how we feel it's unfair, how people come at us. So we're clapping back. We're moving out of emotions and not out of wisdom and patience. And that's what saves lives. So I pray that, this video helps at least one person, because if it do, then I know I did my job. Number 4, never allow them to bring you out of character. Now, I used to be the type of person where if a person coming at me crazy, I'm clapping back 100 times crazier, when I used to work at retail. And then I thought to myself, like, if I went into a sneaker or a clothing store and I seen one of the workers, arguing with one of the customers, I would look at them like they're crazy. Like, are you serious? Like, you're supposed to be representing the company. You're supposed to be working here, and you're arguing and cursing out the customer. That's a bad look. It's embarrassing for the company. You look ghetto. You look like you hate your job. So, as you're working with people, know that what if it was you walking into your job and the customer was the worker? It's just not a good look to allow customers to turn you into this angry, ferocious person where you're cursing them out and then they're threatening to tell your boss on you. You have to just pay attention to your self-image, because you are reflecting the company, and it's just so unprofessional. Like, I know people can be so annoying, and I know people can just be so miserable and try to bring you out of character. I know people can sometimes trigger you, but please, you guys, I'm begging you, like, now it's life or death. Take the high road. It's not easy, but take the high road. Trust me. If anything, you see the person outside of work one day and you off the clock, then you could act a little differently. But while you're at work, you guys, because listen, what happened right in Atlanta where the girl put too much mayonnaise on a sandwich and got shot, people are starting to get ideas and copy. Now all of a sudden in Brooklyn, the lady don't get her fries and she call her son. She don't get her fries hot enough and then she call her son and her son kills the worker. People are just following each other like, oh, somebody got killed, over the order being wrong. Now I'm gonna do it. Don't nobody mess with my order because they popped off. Now I'm getting ready to blow somebody's head off. People are being encouraged by sick events of violence like this. And it's sad. So we gotta be smart. We gotta be real smart, y'all. And last but not least, this is number 5. Remember, you made it to work alive. You want to make it home alive. You want to make it home to see your mother and father, your sisters and brothers, your grandmother, your grandfather, your friends, your uncles, aunts, and cousins. Think about your hopes. Think about your dreams. Think about your aspirations. Think about where you want to be in life. Think about all the places you haven't traveled to yet. Think about how good life could get one day. You want to live out to see these things come into fruition. You want to live to be able to just not only enjoy life, but to experience so much more. Is it worth arguing with that miserable customer? Is it worth arguing with that crazy person on a train? Is it worth going back and forth with somebody because they staring at you? If somebody didn't put their hands on you, it don't matter what they say. Sometimes you need to learn to ignore people. If you got to listen and put your AirPods in, do that. If you have to walk away, do that. If you have to leave a facility or a premises or leave work early, do that. Anything to save your life. You don't know who has a knife. You don't know who got mace. You don't know who has a taser. You don't know who has a gun. You simply don't know. God knows, but you don't know. Humans, were so limited. We can only see but so much. Save your life. Be smart. Be kind. And all those good things will always follow you and always come back to you. Now, not everybody will like you. It's some people, you go around them and they're automatically triggered. Whether they're triggered because, they wish they were you, or whether they're triggered because, you shine so bright and it intimidates them, Or maybe they see your amazing gifts and talents and it's a threat to them. Or maybe people don't like you because you remind them of somebody they had a run-in with in the past. Whatever it is, don't take it personal. You are there to do your job and to shine and to, make your money. Is temporary. So I hope this video has helped somebody. I love you guys. Star gang or no gang. Until next time, make sure you guys like this video, drop a comment down below. Let's discuss, you guys. Let's chat. Let's talk about this. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And until next time, peace.